everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in Quantum Mortality, our Planescape D&D 5e question mark adventure. Today is May 4th, 2025, and you are loved. And that is an important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards where anywhere audiocasts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, you can go to patreon.com/indooradventures to check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to again join us at patreon.com/indooradventures. But let's say you already support us on Patreon, you already support us on YouTube and Twitch and all of those other wonderful places, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? Well, guess what, Acorns? I got your back. Quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks. We even have face masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, designed by our very own Cyberwolf1201, where all of the proceeds of all of our merch currently goes to help support Doctors Without Borders. So if you would like to help support a good cause or possibly help support the show, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. Again, that is indooradventure, no S at the end, .redbubble.com. But that is it for my opening spiel. So hey, Dingo, who you playing today?
I'm Dingo. I use she, her, and he, him pronouns. And I am playing Sai, who is a Air Genasi Twilight cleric who uses she, they.
All right, and Kylan.
Hi everyone, my name's Kylan. I use she, they pronouns, and today I am playing Tessell, who is currently a chromatic Dragonborn Echo Knight fighter who uses they, them pronouns.
Me now, right? Me? Hi everybody, I am Wings, also known as Danae Keener. Today I am playing as Aluvire, who is always a Minotaur, but today is a checks notes bard, and we both use she, her.
And I am the indoor adventurer, he, him. I woke up a little late today, so I am a sleepy bee, and today I am going to be playing as Orillo Thread Twister, the bugbear rogue of the party. He also uses he, him pronouns.
Hi, I'm Cyber of Cyberwolf1201.com. I'm the DM. I use he or whatever pronouns. May the fourth be with you and with your spirit.
And also, damn it! They changed it on me.
The party has... Oh, I'm running a game of Dungeons & Dragons for my friends. There we go. The party has followed the trail of the Rogue Modron R04M Discursive Appraisal to the Workshop of Wonderholm, where they learned of his interest in artifacts that cause instability in the multiverse, leaving with a partially restored Mimir, some salvage from a rust monster nest, and some explosives. You return to your walking castle, which was soon visited by a large pearlescent dragon who greets you.
Shit, yeah.
My old friend, how good it is to see you again. And this dragon is just looking down, coiled atop the castle, looking at those of you who came out on the balcony.
Aluvire looks behind her to see who they're talking to.
I guess it would have been a couple 100 years. How long has it been for you?
Since
Since the last time that we traveled together.
yeah, I don't follow.
Oh. Oh.
I apologize. Which one of us are you? And Sai is sort of like pointing to Aluvire, pointing to Tessell, pointing to herself.
Well, all of you. Sai, you don't remember me, do you?
Oh,
Tessell, none of this rings a bell.
Tessell's gonna think really, really, really hard.
can I make an insight check?
Mm-hmm.
Not 20.
This dragon appears to be absolutely forthcoming and truthful. It recognizes you all as old friends, and at the moment is um, like concerned that she let forth a secret that she was not supposed to give out.
Oh.
Oh, oh, this is awkward.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I just I'm so embarrassed.
No,
You know, all of
this is on me. Sorry, I'm supposed to be pretty careful with spoilers. Oh,
Hang on. Do you know what's wrong with us?
oh, you still haven't figured it out?
we have some theories. Not very good ones, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry. Even I haven't caught up with all that. Sorry, I'm saying far too much. Um, but and she will sort of reach down, uh, and take something from off one of the horns on her back. A sort of amulet that was hanging there. I do think I still need to do something. So, give this to the one who sees silver. That'll make sense later.
All right.
And there is this sort of amulet with a charm around it of a horned creature with a sort of screaming face.
Sai will take it.
We'll catch up later. And this pearlescent dragon sort of jumps up off the castle and begins flying off.
Wait, what was your name?
Renee. Renesnabra. But Renee.
Well, it was good to meet you and see you again, Renee. Good luck.
And she flies off.
She seems in quite the pickle. But doesn't it sort of feel nice to see a friendly face even if we don't recognize it? It was weird. Like sort of comforting.
I just feel frustrated. Seems like she knew a lot more than she let on.
Well, it sort of sounded like she couldn't.
Are we good now? Zathir is calling out from within the castle.
Oh, yes, we're all right.
Okay. Cool. We're heading to Ribcage, right?
I believe so.
No other old time dragon friends you're gonna be calling down?
I don't know that we can actually promise that because I don't know how many dragon friends we have.
Okay.
Or other.
That was a time dragon?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'm gonna rack my brain. I'm gonna rack every portion of my brain.
Tessell has to go.
And
Have a
Tessell's
big
gonna
think.
Tessell's just like muttering, I am not the right Tessell for this.
I didn't even know that time dragons were a thing.
Well, they're not in most places, but you know, there you find a lot of weird stuff here in the Outlands. It's the fun meeting place of all the multiverses redirects and experiments and a whole bunch of gods.
Well, I suppose that must make us special to have one that we can theoretically call as a friend.
Tessell's just gonna snort in frustration.
Oh, it's all right. Why don't we see if Aluvire can get us a snack? I always think better with a snack. Although that
I
might
think
be the wrong Aluvire for that.
Tessell's gonna like start to be like, but I'm not fine.
Aluvire checks her pockets and then shrugs apologetically.
And Sai, you are given this amulet.
Remind me what the amulet looks like again.
It looks like a horned creature with a screaming face.
I'm going to write it down as screaming amulet for one who sees silver.
Visual weight.
Oh.
It's like a door knocker without the knocker.
We can't hear you.
Sorry, for some reason, my sensitivity has been off lately, and I keep on whispering, and whenever I open up a statement with a whisper, it never picks up. But I said it out of character, and I feel like I should say it in character. I swear I've seen that thing before.
Aluvire making an Arcana check.
Boy, oh boy. Actually, genuinely a good thing that this one is doing it. 20. Not naturally, but a 20 nonetheless.
Yeah, you recognize this as a talisman of the sphere. These are made by certain wizards who deal with the balls of entropy known as spheres of annihilation. So yeah,
I share that much information.
you have a talisman of the sphere.
I'm still gonna call it the Screaming Amulet.
Oh, well, it's not spherical.
Does this
at
have
all.
anything to do with the Tomb of Annihilation?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's why. Okay.
The
Got
one of those wizards who particularly enjoys using a sphere of annihilation is the Archlich Acerak.
Currently, somewhere there's a drow that's got a shiver going down his spine. Okay. How long do you think it'll take for us to meet that dragon again? For the first time.
Well, she said it's been a couple of 100 years, I think.
We're gonna live to be a couple 100 years? Can we not even die of old age? Is Mima coming back? Or are we just gonna keep on turning into other versions of ourselves? Forever and ever?
This doesn't make sense. There's no way we are that old.
Mima could be that old.
Okay, that's Meemaw. That's a Meemaw thing.
I suspect I'm already fairly old as it is.
Wait, how old are you?
Oh, it cut out for you.
Oh, she says, I don't rightfully know.
Huh. That's
From?
unusual.
Aluvire, repeat that.
Sorry, we've never asked you where you came from. Come to think of it, we haven't really talked about ourselves at all. Count out again.
Okay, we've got two whispering people and
Hello?
Zoom's mics.
Is someone out there? I think there must have been some sort of update to Zoom's throttling, because it's all like, we hate the whisperers now.
A scream. Sai says, no, I suppose we haven't really talked about it. And then she's going to go off to the kitchen to look for snacks.
Uh,
Where do you come from, Tessell?
I don't want to talk about it. And it's gonna go. I'm gonna go find Orillo.
Yeah. This whole time with the dragon, Orillo, like, he has just been in his room, getting a table set up, laying out this mechanical construct that they found rusted out in the rust monster pit. Like, just like, okay, arm goes here. This looks like it would, like, he's basically being a early time archaeologist of like, if I think I can piece together a dinosaur based on this handful of bones I found.
Gonna like open the door, peek in, and be like, "You busy?"
Not particularly at the moment. What was that thing?
Time dragon. Does that ring any bells? Name Renee.
Can I roll a history check?
Mm-hmm.
This is the wrong Orillo to be doing this, but, you know, we're in it still. I've come across a lot of people in my time. Several called Renee. Dragons can be shapeshifters on occasion. I got an 8.
Yeah.
Time dragon?
I frankly don't know any of this. Apparently, the last time we adventured together with Renee, our good friend Renee, was 100 years ago, which doesn't seem right to me.
Oh, well. I mean, if you think about it, Outlands, time, wibbly wobbly, doesn't really make much sense. I mean, as we're going, we're watching skyboxes change and all of that. 5 minutes could be 5 years, and it's a time dragon. Who knows, maybe it has a case of the Benjamin Buttons, where it is just getting younger in reverse or something along those lines. So when we meet it, it will be young, but it's living its life going the opposite direction.
Yeah, this is making my head hurt.
Big thoughts.
Also, she gave us an amulet that we're supposed to give to the one who sees silver. I don't get that either.
Oh, what kind of amulet?
It's like a screaming face.
What kind of
With,
screaming
like,
face? Does it have
horns?
like a long jaw and horns that go out like this?
Yeah.
Might as well. Yeah, okay. And we're supposed to give it to somebody.
Let's see, Silver. She said it would make sense in time, but listen. I think that whatever is going on with us, this time dragon, this Renee, she knew a lot more than she let on. And damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Okay. I'm gonna ask you this before I change my mind.
Yeah.
I need you to stab me.
Do you want to know it's coming or for it to be a surprise? And he says, walking closer to you with, just bringing out a dagger, wiping it off with a rag.
Look, I mean, after what I did to Jeremiah,
Stab.
dealers...
Just, I think he, just quickly, goes around, grabs, shank, 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 shank. It's not one. It is, a series of them because he needs you to bleed out faster.
And, the large black dragonborn Tessell falls on the floor.
Yep.
Tessell?
Yes.
You awaken in the bathroom. In front of the
Okay.
mirror. What do you see?
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to go update this character sheet in a minute, but for now, I wasn't ready for this one. So yeah, just standing up looking in the mirror, you would see a metallic dragonborn of a beautiful golden sheen with these bright amber eyes. Just like, oh heavens. Okay. Well, let's take stock of the situation. Gonna gingerly open the door. Hello?
I desperately want Aluvire to be here.
Okay.
The Aluvire.
Oh God! Sorry, I just wasn't expecting someone else to be here. I'm sorry. Do I know you too?
Yes. I mean, we've never formally met, but it's so good to meet you. And Tessa will go and take both of one of Aluvire's hands?
Yeah.
Hands.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes, hands. I know. I ask myself that question too.
And shake it enthusiastically and be like, "It's so good to finally meet you. I'm Tessell."
What happened?
Well, it seems as though Tessell felt not suited for this situation and decided that I needed to be here. So here I am.
Okay, I understand completely. What's the situation?
Well, as I recall it, it's kind of weird with having another person's memories come to you, although they're your memories.
Once again, I understand completely.
It seems that I want to get to the bottom of this time dragon thing. And Tessell, as you formerly know, is not really the most well equipped for research. So that's why I'm here.
I see. Okay. All right. I have an approximate knowledge of many things, so maybe I can help.
That would be lovely. I would appreciate that. It could be a dual research team.
Wow. Okay, that sounds like fun. Let's see if we can get to the bottom of this.
Ooh, I'm sure Zathier has a lot of books here. Maybe we can start there.
Zather has some books. Yes.
Some books.
However, I mean, I can try and see what we have here. Yep. If you spend an hour researching here, you can make an intelligence check with advantage. If both of you are doing it, I'll say you can add 2 rolls of a bardic inspiration, take the higher one. Without using a bardic inspiration.
Okay, I'm probably gonna have to ask you to repeat that just because I am like speed updating to level 6.
Tessell, roll 2 d20s. Aluvire, roll 2 bardic inspiration die. Take the higher of each.
Okay. All right. Hang on. One quick second. I have to see what I picked for level 6. Oh, I picked Savage Attacker. Okay. I'm gonna just do the same thing for Metallic. That makes sense. We're doing it live. Okay. What was the higher one you had?
5.
5? All right. Okay, and then I'll roll with advantage and add my intelligence and the bardic, correct?
Yes, so you'll make your, is it investigation? Yeah, an intelligence check, so investigation, arcana, history, whatever you decide, make that with advantage and then add 5.
Ooh, I could do either arcana or history. They're both good. We'll do history. History and time feels interesting. Okay. So advantage, and then I'll add 5 whenever I'm done. Oh my god. Okay. So 12 plus 5, 17?
Time dragons are not a particularly common occurrence on most of the planes. They do appear in the Outlands, mostly because there is a realm here, the Mausoleum of Chronepsis, where the dragon god of time resides. There has not been a lot more research done because those dragons are very territorial.
This is fascinating. Oh. Okay. The territorialness is a problem, I will admit. But I almost want to go check it out, but we're busy. We got to find Rome at some point. But if it's on the way, there's just a lot of possibility.
What territorialness and where do you want to go?
Oh, I will explain like the Chronepsis and there are time dragons in the Outlands, but they haven't been well researched because they seem to be a little, yeah.
So you're really interested in dragons, huh?
Yes. Well, it's a long story, but there is a Tessell that seems very well attuned to a gift that dragons have, and that's why we were able to meet before all this happened. Well, not really meet, but well, you know how sometimes there's me, but it's not really me. That seems a little far away, a little wispy.
Oh, yeah. The copy? The one that is kind of you, but not you.
Yes. well, that's me, but not always me. Sometimes it's another me. But that's
Yeah,
happened
we all do
before.
that. We all do that, but sometimes you just do it like 2 at once.
Yes.
Really?
Well, yes. Tessell's been able to do it. I've been able to do it, not me. This is so hard to explain. The first Tessell you met is really good at this. I was able to meet them, but not. I want to know more, and the other Tessell wants to know more.
Mm-hmm.
And this might be a good way of learning more, but of course there's so much else we have to explore. So much we don't know.
I see. Okay, so as someone else who also goes by the same name in every iteration, maybe we should come up with nicknames for our different versions of ourselves. Like, for example, the older version of me that has a relationship with death has been colloquially called Mima. So we should probably come up with different nicknames for different versions of you so that, like, we aren't just calling them all the other Tessell, and I know which Tessell you're talking about.
Is there a whiteboard in here?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna flip the whiteboard around and just be like, okay, we can figure this out.
Sai, where have you gone? Yeah, what you doing?
Getting a snack. What time of day is it?
I mean, you've been up for probably like 12 to 14 hours at this point.
Okay. What does the skybox look like?
The weird mishmash of the like default Outlands where it's like it's starting to get like Twilight.
Okay. I think she's gonna root around in the pantry for sweets and treats. And I think she's gonna go into her room, grab one of her pillows, grab one of her blankets, and then she's gonna head up to the top of the walking castle. And she's gonna lay out her blanket, like essentially set up a little picnic kind of, but it looks more like a nest than a picnic. And she's just gonna kick back, lay on her pillow, eat food, and look up at the sky and take a long rest.
Okay. Orillo, what you doing?
Well, first things first, I have to dispose of the body, and that's just like, that's its own can of worms on that one. So my room does have a window. So Orillo is just kind of like look at Tessell, like make sure that, you know, there's no like twitching or like, oh my god, like, you know, keep stabbing. Like, not like, well, like post-mortem, but in a way where it's just like, okay, they don't look like they're getting up. I think we're good. So it's just like a full strip of all of the armor and extra stuff that would make Tessell's body heavier. Orillo will also take 3 of Tessell's dragon scales. So it is, you were a, what colored chromatic dragon were you?
Black.
Black dragon, okay.
Dragonborn.
3 black dragonborn scales. Tessell.
There's a large difference between Dragonborn
Yes.
scales and dragon scales, but yes, you can take a few of them.
Okay. These are a surprise tool that will come in handy later. And then it is just as he has had to do multiple times from this room for various other people. I think actually to both Tessell. Like he's had to do this to Tessell twice. Lift him up, huck him out the window. Just full send the body out into the Outlands. What am I going to do? Just keep the body around? Doesn't make any sense.
Just Aluvire and Tessell having a fairly involved conversation, and then we just, like, a body, like, woof, past the window.
Yeah. And then, he'll take some time, clean up the blood from the floor, clean up the blood from his knife. And once his room is, like, back to, like, a little bit more clean and orderly, he has the black box. And he will go over to this construct that they pulled out. He's going to use it.
Okay. So you take out the black box and you begin hooking up some of the wires within to what you assume are outlets on the construct. You cast Speak with Dead. You get 5 questions as these logs just sort of assault your head.
Okay. First question, what is this construct's designation? What is its name?
There is no name. It is a combat unit S30024.
Okay. Because Speak with Dead, buffer construct. So Orillo would ask, are you still suitable for combat?
No.
And in the same way that you ask a working dog if it's ready to do its job, Orillo would ask, would you like to be?
I have no desire.
What is your desire?
I have no desire.
Fair enough.
Those will be the same question.
This
does not appear to be a sentient creature.
Okay. Orillo's follow-up will be, will you follow orders?
If operational, I do not appear to be operational.
So, last question. Because I know that the questions can't be too complex.
I'm sure they could.
Okay. The last question that he would ask is essentially like, why were you in the scrapyard?
And the logs that sort of assault your mind are of this construct sort of appearing and defending its home, which appears to be a room of polished chrome, although seems to be a bit damaged, some sparks coming off the walls. And being attacked by a group of humanoids, an Aarakocra, a human, and a dwarf. This dwarf has a very familiar set of armor of polished bismuth. The logs then cut out, then spark to life as it is being cast out. There's this creature that is carrying it away. I don't think we can use this one again. And it's just being chucked through a portal somewhere.
Okay.
Then it falls into the scrapyard. I will show you what the creature looks like.
Okay.
Imagine, if you will, a hulking creature from the game Scorn.
Okay. What the fuck?
If you don't know what the game Scorn is,
It is flesh and metal combine.
Yeah, I think it's flesh punk.
yeah, imagine a machine made of flesh.
Except
I know
this is just flesh.
Hell yeah, Warhammer 40k, let's go.
Yeah, imagine that, but actually like having a little bit of like clothes, fancier clothes on.
Okay.
Like this creature appears to be employed, but that is all you get. You get its last moments. You get what was in the black box.
Sounds good. Yeah, I think at that point, because Orillo was the one. Is Orillo the one who has the bismuth armor?
Yes.
Okay.
You have the bismuth from the armor.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Orillo is just going to put this like chest plate shaped piece of bismuth over the chest of the robot. Over the chest of S30024, and then just like drape a sheet over them to just like, okay, like this is a project I will come back to later. It looks a little haunting because it is like a relatively human shape just covered with a sheet in his room. But I think at that point Orillo will exit the room and kind of go and like see if he can find who this new Tessell is. Yeah.
So, in conclusion, I believe it would be best if we refer to each Tessell based off the type of Dragonborn they are. For example, I would be metallic, right? Because I am of a metallic nature. The Tessell you just ran into, that would be chromatic. And the first iteration of Tessell that you met, that would be a gem Dragonborn. So, I believe for simplicity, that would be the best way to go about referring to us. The whiteboard is covered.
Yeah, for some reason the whiteboard is completely covered to come to this conclusion. And like we see Sponge like just squinging across it, and like Aluvire like quickly reaches up and grabs it.
Orillo like into the doorway sees that. Oh, the fucking nerd. closes the door and leaves.
And we will come back after a little break.
All right, so we are going to be going on to a little break. We'll try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Don't go in a place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go towards or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. Pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see you all shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon. And we're back.
Roast tit.
Oh, gross tea.
We're back. People are going to bed. Sorry, I just had to scream out gross tea. I'm so excited there are 2 search results. Nights in the Courtyard. People are going to bed. People are figuring out their titles and names. What y'all want to do? It will be some time before the Walking Castle can make its way to Ribcage. You do have a portal back to Sigil, should you wish to utilize it. If there is anything that you want to do within Sigil.
Yeah.
But if not, everybody can take a long rest to begin with.
Yes.
Let's get some sleep.
I think
Someone's thinking.
I think Sai would like to I think she's gonna spend her entire rest up on the roof, so to speak. And she's gonna study the stars in the sky for a little while just to kind of see what she sees out there.
Yeah. The constellation that is appearing most prominently within the sky is the constellation of the Key.
Is Sai familiar with the constellation of the Key? Do I have to roll for that?
Yeah, make a history or arcana check.
Arcana is technically better, so I'm going to go for that. 15.
It is the interpretation of the actual constellation is this ornate key within the hands of a child. So some of the interpretations of it are like great power in humble or hapless hands. Like having power to open doors and everything, but not really knowing what to do with it.
Boy, that sounds pretty applicable.
I drew this card randomly. I will leave it up to fate.
Yeah, and fate is reading me right now.
Tarot is for real, y'all.
It's for real, y'all. I think Sai is gonna take out, because she has the deck of wonder. I think she's gonna take it out and draw a card.
In what sort of context?
I don't know if she's looking for anything specific, but I think she sees the key constellation like above her, and she knows for the most part vaguely what it means. And I think in her feeling of as she sort of sits and stares up at the constellation and sort of wrings her hands and sits with the feeling of knowing that there is some like great force happening, either happening to or happening with her and her friends. I think they're specifically pulling a card to gain more guidance. I don't know if she's gonna get that.
Would you like to draw, or would you like me to? I say as I'm shuffling a deck, having not pulled out the correct cards.
Well, I don't have a deck, so I will let you. I don't have a deck immediately on me, so I will let you draw.
You are saying that you only want to draw one card, right?
Yes, she's only drawing one card.
Okay. Roll 2d10.
$12.
Your hit point maximum and current hit points increase by 12 for the
Holy
next 8
shit.
hours. You drew the card beginning.
That's kind of sick. And I drew the card. You said beginning?
Beginning.
Well, I suppose that's apt, she says as she's looking at the the card. This is the beginning. And I think she draws it closer to their face. Although you don't have to rub it in.
You say that as the card fades from existence.
Oh. I suppose that's the end for you. She tucks it back into their bag.
Whenever you put it back in the bag, you see that card reappeared at the bottom of the deck.
And I think unless anybody comes up here, she'll just snuggle up.
Anybody else doing anything before the long rest? Okay. Well, everyone will have their sleep. Get all their spell slots and fighter stuff. Whatever you get back.
Aluvire definitely asks Golden Tessell where they came from.
Oh, well, I'm not sure if all the context would be. Okay, let me explain it like this. So I came from a society of Dragonborn. We have a very prestigious society. Lots of focus on magic and culture and well, also combat as well.
So like a college or a school?
Well, yes, but more than that. That's what I was doing. I was attending school, but great big it was floating in the sky too as well.
Oh, wow.
Yes. That's what it was like for me. It was a wonderful place. I don't know if well, I don't know the context for where we're at. So that's, I guess, the most descriptive way I can put it. What about you?
Oh, well, you know how it is. The memories get a little bit jumbled up and you don't really know how to separate all the different iterations, but I'm pretty sure I was a bard that followed people around and asked them where they came from and recorded that and maybe wrote stories and songs about it.
Well, that sounds fascinating. Do you remember any of these stories or songs?
A few of them. Mm-hmm.
Like?
Oh, it's more interesting if you can actually hear them. Never mind. It's I could play the music of it, but I wouldn't be able to sing it.
Oh, well, I mean, it's really quite all right. I mean, I shouldn't have asked you on the spot.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, like, I'm a bard. That's what I do.
Well, I wouldn't mind hearing a tune.
Okay. She'll tune up her lute. And yeah, I think it's a familiar scene of just her silently, I mean, like, it's weird to say that, but like silently playing her lute. And it definitely feels like there's something missing.
What's the general feel of the song? Like the like tune?
I mean, it's a different one than the one she played before. I think she tries to play a more upbeat tune this time. It sounds exciting, whatever it's about.
Huh. That really is quite invigorating.
I don't call it a song of rest for nothing.
Oh, I feel so rested.
Oh.
Well, thank you for giving me a piece of it anyway.
Oh, anytime. I like to be helpful.
Well, it's not really about help. I just, it's about getting to know one another. I think it's, as you said, we don't really know that much about each other.
I guess we just haven't really had an opportunity to sit down and talk about it.
Well, when the time's right, it would be nice to learn more about you all.
Likewise. I'm curious about everyone, but I understand if people aren't really willing to open up. Because, I mean, really, like, how well do we actually know each other? We're always sort of, switching out, and you never know who's going to walk through the door.
Orillo walks through the door.
Is this in the morning or is it still in the evening?
Morning, I believe.
Okay. So in the morning, Orillo has bugbear bedhead, where it's all like he has scrungy face, but he has like a cup of coffee with him.
At some point, Sponge got loose and has, like, just, like, drawn, like, clean snail trails across the whiteboard.
And
Go ahead.
he points a single finger at Orillo, or at Aluvire. You play really well. That's it. It's just, he pays them a compliment.
Like, really alarmed because, like, a finger pointing is so aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god! And then just like, oh! Just, like, really flattered.
Oh, Orillo, I just wanted to say, so nice to meet you, and thank you so much for all your help. I really... Chromatic Tessell should not have blindsided you, I will admit. But, so nice to meet you in the flesh, in person.
Think nothing of it. And then he puts a hand onto Metallic Tessell's shoulder and just, all you ever have to do is ask. I am more than happy to provide a service. That being said, what's the game plan? We have time before we hit the gates. Are we wanting to go back to Sigil? Stay here? Personally, I'd like to return to Sigil for at least a little bit. I took some time, talked to the Rust Bucket that's in the room currently. Apparently their name is, or their designation was S30024, Old Combat Unit. I think it'd be nice to maybe get them up and operational. Back to speed if I could.
I don't see why not. We have plenty of time, I assume.
Just need to
Well-
find how to construct a golem. I think that'll be the best bet for it. Or closest. Don't really know, to be fair.
Well, I think that's a great idea. We can ask Sai's opinion too, when they come down. But I don't see why not.
Almost as if you had summoned them, Sai comes down with a pillow and a blanket, and just covered in crumbs.
Oh.
Big snacking. And like still has the crusties in the eyes, just very sleepy. Did someone say my name?
Oh, yes. First of all, hi. So good to meet you like this. Second of all, we were just discussing how to spend our time between now and arriving at Ribcage.
Oh. I don't think I've thought that far. Hello, Tessell. I assume you are still called Tessell.
Yes, Tessell. I also continue to use they them pronouns. That seems to be consistent.
All right. And she takes them by the hand, and puts half of a sweetbread in it.
Oh, yes. I said I was going to get a snack with you, and then I was a little preoccupied. So yes, this is good. Thank you.
You're
How
welcome.
grody does it look?
It doesn't look gross, but it's definitely either had bites or like tears taken out of it.
Tessell just like looks down, looks at you. Are you like maintaining eye contact?
Yes. I'd like to say no, but the truth is yes.
Just gonna, without breaking eye contact, just take a bite.
She nods sagely. and sort of sits down. We're in the common area, right? Sits down at the table. Well, I don't have very many plans, but I'd be willing to tag along wherever we go.
Well, then maybe let's go to Sigil. Those with friends there, I guess, could check in, do whatever errands we need to do. I, for the life of me, cannot remember anything I need to do, but happy to be a companion.
I suppose I should restock the sweetbreads.
Do we need a recap on things that we may need to do in Sigil?
That would be lovely.
Sure.
That would be really nice.
Yes, if there is such a thing.
If it please the court.
So, I believe one of the last things that was done in Sigil was investigating a sinkhole. And you did get quite a few notes that sort of implicated some experiments from the magic spider people. The cult, church, whatever you will call it, of the magic spider. I believe one of you was going to follow up with Ignatius Inkblot, the Mind Flayer detective, about that.
That's right.
There are a few apothecaries, like Tristan, the apothecary. There's Radars, the Vistani fortune teller. The Fortune's Wheel Casino, and there's probably a few places to talk to people, get information, but you may need further leads to help you get there. Right now you have 12% of the data restored within the Mosaic Mimir that Rome left.
Okay.
You also have Madison, the Cambion lawyer, who has a Y and two N's in her name, who is a sort of involving herself within your defense before the Harmonium for violating the laws of the multiverse. I don't believe you've caught up on where your case, like what the status of your case is.
Yes, forgot about that. Also, don't we have a certain amount of days to find Rome?
Nope.
Okay.
Also, one thing I remembered is one of us has a wanted poster for another one of us.
One of us does have a wanted poster for another one of us.
I sure do. I was going to talk to Tessell about that later. Again. Because I think Tessell and Sai had either Shriek or Sai, I don't remember which one of them it was, had consulted
Tessell
about
and Sai, yeah.
And then also I need to catch Ignatius up with things. I think Sai is sort of like rooting through her bag and their pockets and just like kind of pulling things out, looking at things, pulls out Ignatius's little card, and their eyebrows raise and they tuck it back into the bag and they go, oh, actually, I do think I do have a few errands to run in Sigil, and I found more sweetbreads. And she's pulling out sweetbreads in various states of having been snacked on already. And she hands some to Aluvire, and she hands some to Orillo as well.
Orillo will take it and say, I'm not really a breakfast person, and then just put them into his pockets.
That's all right. They can be saved for later. But yes, I'm aboard the Sigil train. Not currently, but... And also there's no train. But if there were, I would be on it.
You know there is a train.
There is.
Right?
This is part of the Outlands, right?
And Zather will just sort of like point out the window, and very, very, very far away, you can see a tiny like the dawn skybox light. I'm not sure if there's an actual sun here. It's sort of reflecting off of something brass in the distance that's just sort of like going across the horizon. Those of you who are able to like magnify the image for some reason,
Periscope rod.
would be able to see a brass locomotive sort of going across these rails that are just sort of appearing beneath it, across the horizon of the Outlands, and then just sort of phase out of existence. Oh,
Huh.
there it goes. The Concordant Express. I think it really only stations at Automata, but it does go to other places within the multiverse.
Where?
To be honest, it's always been more expensive than what a professor can really afford, so.
Oh, that's fair.
Only there was a way for us to get a enormous windfall very quickly and with little effort.
Or if you, I don't know, had connections there.
Guess so. I haven't tried it in a while, but I am very persuasive.
Sai, weren't you talking to like a god or something like
You're muted.
that? No, just doing the whisper thing. Sai, weren't you talking to what's his face inside of the Temple of Inspired Hands? Would he be able to, I don't know, hook us up with train tickets? The guy, the glowy eye, feel inspired around Gond. That was his name.
Oh, Gond.
The god? That was a god?
Hello.
Sorry, that's actually Aluvire's response.
Sorry.
Oh, well, I would feel a little awkward asking more favors of Gond. After our last encounter, I don't
You
think
already asked a favor of god?
Well, a question rather, not really a favor, sort of a favor.
Is Gond the deity you worship?
What do you mean?
Well,
He's just a man.
I figured that you're. Well, you seem to be very, in tune with something.
Oh,
I didn't know if you were on a conversational level with. Forgive me, I shouldn't cry.
oh no, you're all right. And looks at Aluvire, looks back at Tessell. You said Gond was a deity.
Mm-hmm.
You see Sai's face just sort of like drop and get very warm.
Oh.
Oh, stars above. All right. Well, I got a little self-conscious the other day, and I asked a deity if I was pretty, which I realize now is wildly inappropriate. So I'm going to double down on what I said about the tickets. I don't think I would be the right person to ask Gond about acquiring tickets after my conduct.
Aluvire like puts her hands over her face and like she doesn't speak. She never speaks. But like the thing that she communicates to you is muffled somehow.
The captions are just unintelligible.
Yeah, unintelligible.
Well, I want to know what he said.
What did he say?
Well, he asked if I wanted to hear the truth or what it was I wanted to hear, something to that effect.
The ultimate truth?
I don't know if it's ultimate or not, but I suspect being a deity, perhaps.
He's a god!
Oh no! But
They
he said
deal
was-
with truth with a capital T!
Oh dear. Well, I don't know that that's true because at first he asked, "What is it that you want to hear?" And I said the truth. So it wasn't necessarily he didn't offer up the truth, maybe, but he did say yes. But in retrospect, I'm starting to feel like maybe he was just trying to make me feel better. Or
So was it the truth or was it just what you wanted to hear?
no idea, but I'm feeling incredibly ashamed of myself at the moment.
No!
Oh, well, look what you've done.
I did this!
She directed that at Orillo.
Oh, okay.
Orillo, who has been slightly zoning out during the conversation because as soon as Sai was just like, I asked him if I was pretty, he was like, whatever. Like, 'cause in his mind, he's going through a mental checklist of interest in trains. Check. Ashamed at asking if they are pretty. Check. What does this mean for Sai as a person?
Aluvire's on a roller coaster right now. She goes, I did this! And then, like, Sai turns to Orillo, obviously directing it at him, and she's like, you did this!
What? Sorry, I zoned out there for a brief minute.
Oh, good grief. All right. Well, I suppose, given the light of the circumstances, I will not be asking Gond for train tickets, but would be a good resource for somebody significantly less,
No, you don't understand. He's afraid of you.
What do you mean? Afraid of me? Orillo?
No! God! Sai, you might be the only person in the world who can get train tickets from Gond.
I love this.
That's an awful lot of pressure. But he's
Wait,
a
why do we
deity.
need train tickets?
I think we just for
Is it-
fun, maybe.
It started as just like, well, there is a train. How would we get on it? And then we seem to have just really spiraled out of
Oh,
control.
damn it. We started a hypothetical conversation and then started treating it like it was truth.
Lost your train of thought?
Not again.
Oh my god.
We always do this.
Well, now that we've brought it up, though, I would really like to ride a train at some point. I haven't ridden one before.
No, we have to focus. There's stuff we have to do.
Right, Sigil. We'll talk about the con thing later. And she points to Aluvire.
Right, of course. And if we ever need train tickets, you and me, we're gonna figure this shit out.
Oh my god. So Sigil, huh?
So you walk back through the portal with your sapphire in tow, and emerge beneath the giant statue of a three-eyed horse in the ring of Sigil. Where are you going?
First thing that Orillo would want to do is say, so clearly there are things that we all want to investigate, that we all want to do. I understand there's this whole don't break up the party, but there are some things as well that I know you all want to investigate further that I technically don't have any stake in. For example, I know that the three of you have your rat things here still, right?
Oh, that's a good point.
Trisha, yes.
Maybe, I don't know, you could check up on updates, see if you have any new followers, do whatever, see if there are any updates on Rome. If people have spotted this tiny little Modron doing its own little weird thing.
It's not a bad idea.
It also has sort of come to a head that we have not checked in with Madison, our caseworker, for the whole triples of us not being able to die. Maybe we should at least let them know.
I was actually interested in doing that. That popped into my head. So I can do that. I can follow up.
All right. So you're following up with Madison. Someone else is getting rats. Let's see, what else?
So I don't remember where we went to get the rats last time, but I think
just sort of,
The
you just
tattoo
sort of
shop.
found a rat and asked for your rats back, and the hive mind just sort of provided. But your rats are currently, you believe, at Fells.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I guess since I know Fel, I can go get our rats back.
Well, we might as well accompany you so we can get our rats together, and then we can go on our separate ways.
In the meantime, I've got some shopping I need to do.
I suppose the three of us can direct squeak each other, and Orillo, meet at Fells when you're done.
Just gives a little salute.
We're gonna have to
Actually,
drop
he
off the
will-
rats anyway, so.
Instead of giving a salute when you say this, Orillo will tip his hat as he has a hat of disguise, and you watch as he turns into like a rather slim, clean-cut gentleman wearing a longer trench coat, and he just sort of like fades into the crowd.
Oh, there he goes. We could probably never find him again if he really wanted to get away.
Not picking you up.
Oh, probably not. Although, I suppose if we just look for the biggest ruckus, we'd eventually find him.
I think he's too invested. Come on, let's go get our rats.
Orillo, where are you going?
I would like to go to the market district and see if I can find some, the equivalent of like Warforged scrap parts.
You absolutely could make an investigation check.
13.
Okay. There are some vendors within the market ward that do sell metal parts. However, a lot of them are prefabricated, and for Warforged, for autonomes, for other sorts of constructs, they don't match the configuration of your construct. You may have to get something custom, and there is a foundry, a great foundry within Sigil, that would be a place to sort of follow up on that.
Okay.
That is controlled by the Mind's Eye Mattersmith.
The Mind's Eye Mattersmith?
Yeah,
Okay.
with an S. There are multiple.
Can I roll a history check on the Mattersmith?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A 21.
The Mind's Eye is one of the ascended factions of Sigil, who sort of have a philosophy of growth and understanding. So much so that they actually came about by the consolidation of two other previously existing factions. But it is a faction that attracts a lot of like crafters, guides, people who enjoy making things. Like there is a divine philosophy in the act of creation.
Okay.
At a smaller scale.
Yeah. My guess is that Orillo has probably been here before when he's need to like custom order things for his shop. So yeah, he'll make his way to the Mind's Eye Mattersmith.
To the Great Foundry.
Yeah, Great Foundry.
Okay, so you'll be headed over to the lower ward.
Yes.
Okay, the rest of you are headed to the Hive ward, where the fuck are they? the floaty emoji people.
Dabus.
Where the Dabus.
The Daboo. Yeah, the Dabus. Sorry.
Where the
I
floaty
always
emoji
think of them
person-
as like the French pronunciation. It's all like, yes, obviously it ends with an S, so the S is silent.
Yes, where Fel, the specifically not floating Dabus tattoo artist and Aluvire's roommate, is currently. You sort of walk in, and he begins to sign welcome, and then it's just like, oh, hi, welcome back.
Hi. How's it going?
Same as usual, pretty quiet. Couple of new customers. Nothing particularly interesting about any of them.
Any exciting tattoos?
Nope, not really.
Any normal tattoos?
Yeah, like 8 different, barbed wire, just loop bands.
You know,
I
you
mean-
get tired of playing the classics, but it pays the bills.
It really does.
Okay.
Gotta please the crowd every now and then. You can't do originals every time.
So, are y'all back for a while? Did y'all make any progress on?
The whole thing?
Yeah.
We're slowly making progress. You know, just every day. No big breakthroughs just yet. We're still looking for the guy, the Modron.
She like looks to the rest of the group to make sure she's like using the right terminology. Does she speak in Dabus to
Mhm.
Fell or okay? All right. And so like as she turns to say Modron, she's like signing it in in a manner that they can understand.
It's the big lips emoji.
Tessell's gonna be like, yes, but also we are leaving out the part with the, the old friend, the visitor.
Oh yeah. We met a dragon? Like 100 years from now we met a dragon.
Her name's Renee.
100 years from now, you met a dragon?
Yes, it's a time dragon. It's really complicated. I don't
Oh,
understand it.
okay. Not my expertise.
But it is their expertise. So we're in good hands.
She's pointing to Tessell.
Oh,
You
okay, wow,
know a
that's
lot
assuming
about
a lot.
you know a lot about like time magic and stuff?
Uh,
Have you gone to
no,
Have you gone to the institute?
the Institute.
Yeah, the institute in Sigil, the Institute for Intellectual Excellence.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
that
I
might
think
be.
they've got a couple of time and other planar professors and stuff. Um, you may remember your guide from your very first awakening within Sigil, Zaya, was a student at the Institute for Intellectual Excellence. Um, Zathir is also an adjunct professor at that same university.
Oh, actually, that may also be a good thread to follow up on. I should direct Sweet Zaya. Maybe we can set up a meeting. I'd love to see if we could talk to someone with a little more knowledge about this.
Works for me. Speaking of, where are our rats?
Oh, and he'll walk out into the back room and come back out. There's a wicker basket with like a very ratty blanket within, um, and your three cranium rats are just sort of taking a cat nap within.
Aluvire startles a little at the sight of her rat because it has a skull on its head, and then remembers that it has a skull on its head, and that's fine.
They look so peaceful. I almost don't want to wake them, but we have to do what we have to do. Just gonna very gently be like, hello.
I've had plenty of time to recharge.
Hello.
I, with wanton disregard, just reaches in, scoops up Patricia. Plop Patricia on my shoulder.
The rat just sort of digs its claws and just sort of gets a perch and squats down, head down.
Check the squeaks. Check the squeaks.
Oh, the squeaks. Sai will buddy up
with the three of us and hold Patricia out. Do you three have any squeaks you would like to share with us? Anything new, perhaps?
At Prismari Dropout. What does your tattoo mean? I had money and nobody stopped me. At DC to Shitpost. Life can be pretty cool because you can go get a bagel. But then there's also the horrors. At 9 out of 10 hells. Thank you for contacting Beator. Your scream is important to us.
No general news. Seems like a lot of musings. Well, I'm going to see. I have a vague memory. This is out of character. I have a vague memory of like Zaya and us following each other on. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can direct message, her, and just be like, "Hello, it's been a while." Smiley face. Proceeds to double text. Was wondering if maybe we could meet up. There's something I would like to look a little more into, and I was wondering if perhaps maybe we could come to campus.
Sure. Normal tout rate?
I forgot what the rate was.
It's like a gold.
Oh, sure, yes.
Okay. I'll... Where do I need to pick you up?
Just turning to Fel. Is here fine? If I ask someone to pick us up from here.
Here's fine.
Okay.
We don't want to impose.
I mean, it's your house. It's my house too, but...
You're the best.
I will say Fel's tattoos in the appropriate ward. I forgot which ward we're in.
Hive.
Hive, yes.
Okay, give me 15.
Thank you with too many U's.
Orillo. You make your way into the lower ward. The smoke, the fog, the smog is hanging not very low over the industrial section of the lower ward, but it definitely appears to be a lot thicker around these just spiraling tower or jagged towers just poking out of the side of the ring of Sigil up into the air. You see a couple of the guards out in front. You hear banging and machinery and just all the industrial sounds. So who you're here to see?
Well, I was looking if I had a request for custom parts on something. Who would I talk to?
Where did it go? Probably Mikhail.
All right. It's for an older construct. I've been trying to find replacement parts for it and just can't seem to find anything that fits.
Who's asking?
Me, I'm asking. Oh, right, a name. Ottie.
Now, Orillo, is this an alias that you've used before?
Yeah, I
Is
think.
Is it one that could be traced back to you?
No, I think that this is a new alias.
Okay, make a persuasion check.
All
With
right.
disadvantage.
You got it. Oh boy, that'd be a 7.
I'll tell him.
Hmm.
He's working on something.
And Arilla sort of like thinks for a minute. And says, when you do, can you make sure he gets this? And he'll hand him he'll write a little note real quick. That just says, like, in need of help, OT. And I think that that's,
right.
like, he's signed things like that before.
Okay. I'll pass it on. See if we can squeeze you in.
Orillo will nod and just sort of, like, if there's, like, sitting room or, like, a chair or anything.
No, you're out in the street in front of the gates of the foundry.
Okay. Yeah, he'll just hang out by the gates for like a half hour to 45 minutes to see if anything happens.
The three of you. Where are you headed to? Are you going to meet up with Sale? Or are you going to wait on Sale?
Yes. And Tessa will give the caveat. I understand if there are other things you wish to accomplish during this time. Please don't feel obligated to come along with me if you don't want to, but I would appreciate the company as well. So, ultimately up to you.
I suppose we have a lot of time anyway, and I'll come along. Aluvire?
I mean, if that's where everyone else is going. I mean, full disclosure, I've been to the Institute before, and it's a little overwhelming for me. I mean, they take things very seriously.
Oh, like in what way?
Oh, it's a very serious academic institution. I'm sure you'll love it.
Well, okay. Good to know. But yes, hopefully we can learn a little more about this time magic.
At that point, Zaya does walk into the front door. So, you're ready for a campus tour? I'll see where we can get to, but
Yes. Hello, good to see you again. I know the circumstances in which we parted last time were less than favorable, but
I mean, you got the rest of the money back, right?
yeah, she did pay us back, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. We did.
Look, it's a normal thing. Look, people get distracted in Sigil all the time. It's a normal thing for touts. And she takes a sip of her coffee, her iced coffee. You ready to go?
Yes.
Okay. And she sort of fiddles with her belt and takes out a rubber duck, a twig, and a half-finished Rubik's Cube. follow me.
Okay.
And she will go through a couple of doors. The first one will lead out into a bar. And she will usher you to the men's restroom. Open up that door. That will lead to a back alley. And she will direct you out of that back alley through another door, which will lead out into the market ward in front of this building with there's a central tall tower where it's not multiple towers around it, it's more like rounded stairwells and balconies that are leading up to other like rounder halls and rooms. But it is this very large academic looking building within the market ward of Sigil. So these are the front gates. We'll go directly inside. Are you here to see anything in particular, or?
Well, I would like to get to the bottom. I'm interested in looking into time magic, but it's a little beyond me. So I was hoping, perhaps, either if it's doing some research at a library, or perhaps talking to someone, just to get like a general understanding.
You said which topic?
Time magic.
I can probably see if when is Prador's office hours? I can ask the person at the front desk, and she'll walk you in. This central building is the Hall of General Excellence. This is where a lot of the intro classes are: multiversal philosophy, planar history. But I'm sure we're not interested in all that. Excuse me. When's Professor Praetor's office hours? Yeah, he's good now. Oh. Okay. Yeah, follow me. And she'll lead you up to the left hallway. You can see some of the classrooms on, they have these sign or bulletin boards out, which have like portal theory, planeswalker physiology, and she leads you down a couple of back halls, and there's this plaque on the wall of a couple of different professors' nameplates, and in all caps, this one spells Praetor, Praetor. The door opens before you walk up, and within this smallish office is a large spherical body with 10 wriggling eye stalks that sort of all look in your direction, and this central eye of what you would assume is a beholder is bandaged up, completely hidden from view, and this soiled blindfold, you can see that dripping out of it is this sort of black goo, and this wrinkled beholder says, Praetor, I think these are the people I calculated. Thanks, Scary. So, you're interested in chronergy, was it? And this sort of metallic voice rings out from this figure. Their skin is this bronze, sort of matted with what looks like purple, sort of going through the metal of this Warforged. Hi, I'm Praetor. I'm professor of chronergy. Orillo. After about 15 minutes, the guard sort of, they change shifts, and the one that you gave the note to disappears. How long do you wait?
So it's only been 15 minutes. Orillo will give it another 30.
You wait another 30 minutes.
At that point, he's sort of debating, like, my legs are getting a little sore. He doesn't have, like, he's not connected on the us or anything like that, so he doesn't have a means of, like, getting into communication with this person otherwise. And I think he'll, God. He'll give it another 15 to wait a full hour, and if nothing happens after a full hour, then he'll come back later and try again.
Okay. More time passes.
What can you do? He'll just tell the guard that he'll be back later. And the guard's probably like, I don't fucking know you. Yep. And he will leave and set off and see if he can track down either like schematics or a some kind of note to, or like some thing that would allow him to start the process of constructing a golem.
Yep. I mean, you can go in the market ward and just find like a manual or.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find a manual for it and how much that would end up being.
A manual of golems would run in like the tens of thousands of gold range. Depending on the specific kind of golem. I assume you do not want clay, flesh, or stone.
Flesh is debatable, but probably not what I'm looking for here. If I don't want to horrify my party with a strange combination of meat and iron.
Make an investigation check.
Yeah. That's a 7.
I mean, you're not you're not finding anything cheap, and you're not finding anything that matches the construct of your creature. Like, it's not. You found you've come across a few different kinds of automatons,
Yeah.
sentient and not. Autonome doesn't look like it. Warforged doesn't look like it. And even the Nimble Rights that greeted you at Wonderholm, this doesn't look like that.
Okay.
You're not sure how common these things are in the multiverse. But even here within Sigil, you are not able to easily find a way to replicate this.
Okay. Out of sheer morbid curiosity, how much is the flesh golem tome?
It would be around 25,000 gold pieces.
25,000.
And the actual construct, getting the manual is one thing.
Yeah.
Getting the manual and then also the materials and spells to complete the construction would be another 100,000 gold pieces.
Oh.
And would take 120 days.
Okay. Well. Okay.
And this is a fairly standardized. Like, you can do this fairly easily if you have the materials and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Simon, are you planning on making a flesh golem out of the corpses of our past lives?
I mean, if
Simon.
they're lying around.
Simon!
What? Are you gonna look at me and look at all the bodies of ourselves that we're dropping and not think, how can I use this?
Mima is very disappointed.
Well, you know what? Maybe Mima won't be part of it then. We're excluding her from Super Cool Team Flesh Golem.
But you look around. All of these stalls and vendors, and you hear a voice behind you. You're starting a project? As Janet appears behind you, having found you here within the market ward.
Yeah.
And that's where we'll pick up next time.
My God. A spooky. Also gives me some time to go back and listen to the episodes that have Janet in them to figure out what I said in the year past of us playing this game. So, first off, Cyber, what an incredible game. Thank you so much for running this, but I always have a blast whenever you're on the channel. Cyber, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hi. I'm very sleepy, as are we all. You can find me at cyberwolf1.com, on Blue Sky and the actual website, and sometimes on Twitch at cyberwolf1.com. Nope, twitch.tv/cyberwolf1, where maybe I will find something else to stream. I mean, that roguelike Elden Ring's coming out, so that's it. That's all I got.
Hell yeah. And Dingo, where can we find you? What do you do?
You can find me here. This is what I do. You can also find me on Blue Sky at WheresMyDingus.
And Kylan.
Hi everyone, my name's Kylan, otherwise known as KyleWithAnN. You can find me at that username on Blue Sky as well as Twitch. I actually streamed on Twitch recently. Hold your applause. Right now, my big project that I'm doing, it's called the Relic Castle Project, where I play through 14 different Pokemon games from my childhood and teen years. Right now, I'm still on yellow, but made a lot of progress. I hope you tune in the next time I stream. I post about it on Blue Sky. So yeah, smash that follow button if you want to see more.
And Danae.
Hey folks, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com doing nerdy drawings, mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on the Indoor Adventurers stream. DanaeKeener.com.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey, Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this on Monday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and on Sundays at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time when we can. Because real life is difficult, scheduling has only gotten harder, and you know what? We're doing our best, and that's the part that counts. But if this is your first time joining us and you have considered wanting to go and check out more of this show, you can again go to youtube.com/Indoor Adventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards where audio casts are made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. But speaking of things that are being made available for free, we are going to be going to our Patreon-supported after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community, but also from each other. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask myself or any of these other fine folks, you can again go to patreon.com/Indoor Adventures. But we are going to be heading off, so I'd like to say once again, thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by. Thank you to these wonderful players for putting up with our bullshit once again this week. And of course, Cyber, thank you so much for running this game. This has been a blast. And we will see you all next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.